Welcome back to another video. Today I will be giving you 25 plus tips I wish I knew sooner. And don't worry, there won't be any spoilers, so you're safe to watch until the end. But anyways, let's jump right into it. Tip number 1. How to make an infinite water supply. You're going to want to find yourself a juice box, and then you want to get yourself a water container. Then you want to put the water container under the juice lip piece. This will seep out juice into the water container, and all you have to do is scoop it up and drink it. I mean, it's pretty simple, pretty easy, infinite water supply. And yeah, let's move on right to the next tip. Tip number 2, the perfect spots to build. I'm right here next to the kid case, and all these spots are going to be just little houses I put together, and they're not going to be anything special, but you can make them as you want. And now the first spot is right here at this baseball, and I know a lot of the YouTubers say this, but it's because it really is a nice spot. There's no angry creatures here that will get you, and you just build it right up here. It's up high, it's elevated, and I just got a little base up here, and there's infinite sap that grows off this stick right here. There's food, there's water everywhere on these grass drops, and then there's dirty water here for when you get yourself a charcoal canteen. You can just scoop it right up, so that's an infinite water source. It's right next to the spawn. It really is a perfect spot to build. Let's go to the next location. The next building spot is actually going to be right here on the map. It is actually going to be right under this leaf. I'm actually building this house in my playthrough right now. If you haven't watched those videos, be sure to go watch them in my Grounded's playlist. But you can make a little house under this leaf. You can make it 2 stories if you'd like to. I think I've seen a YouTuber or 2 do that. And I just got a little base constructed, and there's some mushrooms, and then weevils like to come all around these mushrooms, as you can see right here, so you can kill them if you want for easy food. And there's a ton of weed stems, dandelions, and obviously water everywhere. And a little tip, I don't know why it's here, it's like a glitch, but everything you pick up around this area, well, not that one, it gives you 2 of. It's like a duplicate. I don't know what's up with that, but it just is. And for some reason, the only downside of this base is the fact that when you break this stuff, it'll always come back, even if you break the stem below it. So that's a little downside to this base, but every other thing about this base is just perfect. There are no hostile creatures here that'll get you. I mean, it really is a perfect place. There's a spider way over there, but it's kind of far away. Let's move on to the next 2 locations. The next location is actually right up here at the oak tree. I like to build right here, kind of right above the oak tree on these little stems coming out. The only downside of this is there are wolf spiders here. So this is like a 7 out of 10 base. You are elevated up, but the wolf spiders will jump to get you. And I've done a base like this before. If you guys would like to see it, please let me know in the comments, and I'll post a picture or 2 about it on the shorts. But I got some garden patches over here, and it's kind of hard to get water here, so you would like to get some dew collectors and stuff in water containers, because the only water you can get is over on the grass, and there's not really too much food here. And the next location is actually right up here. You've probably seen people do this before on YouTube. It's actually a treehouse base, kind of the same as down there, but it's way more elevated and a lot cooler. You can eventually make zip lines to across the map, to the sandbox, to the picnic table, wherever you would like. And it's an easy way, like a centerpiece to the map, if you would like to play long playthroughs and have this be your main piece. And let's move right on to tip number 3. How to fight every bug in the game in 3 simple steps. The first step, run the heck away. Don't want anything to do with any bug in the game. You want to stay safe. And actually, it is a little tip here. If you just run away, they can't get you. They'll eventually go back to their little spot. Let's move on to tip number 4. Alright, tip number 4. How to perfect block. So as you can see, I mean, I'm in creative. They won't hit me, but these mites would be hitting me. The perfect thing is to, right before they attack you, right before they hit you, you're going to want to block. And you'll see that spark come up, and that means you won't take any damage at all. If you hold it, you will block, but you can see a meter is coming up for the shield. Eventually, once that goes down, you'll get knocked down on the ground, and it'll give them time to hit you. And every time you block this, I think it's 50% of the damage they would do to you goes away. And when you perfect block like this, okay, maybe I can't perfect block like that, no damage is going to hit you at all. So you can really never die if you just learn how to perfect block. My favorite way to perfect block is to use these mites. They're really quick, and once you learn how to, fight them and parry them, you'll be able to fight pretty much all the bugs in the backyard. Let's move on to the next tip. Tip number 4, how to use drying racks. So there's these racks right here. They're kind of mid-game. They're hard to get. You need bug parts. I think it's bombardier beetles. But what you can actually do, I have some plant fiber here. You can actually hang it on the drying racks, and as you can see, it's drying now, and that will eventually turn into dry grass. And you can substitute the plant fiber out for like berry leather. It'll get berry leather. That's the best way to get berry leather in the game, because usually to craft berry leather you have to use like 4 or 5, and with this, each berry leather or berry chunk that you dry into this will get you 1 berry leather. So it's a really efficient and really easy tool to use. It is mid-game though, so I would recommend getting it as soon as you can, but it'll dry grass, it'll dry berry chunks, there's a few more things that it'll dry, but I'm not too sure on that. But yeah, let's move on. Okay, tip number 7. How to kill a lot of ants at once. We're now at the anthill. The anthill is located right here on the map. What you're going to need, you're going to want a mosquito needle and any type of armor you want. And ant parts are really useful because they're used for a lot of things in the game. They're used for grinders, they're used for spinning wheels, they're used for a lot of the decorations in Grounded. And you want to grab your mosquito needle, grab your armor, and I'll meet you over at the anthill. Okay, I am in creative mode, so they're not going to do any damage, but this mosquito needle has a very good like thing on it. It has lifesteal. What lifesteal is, every time you hit a bug, their health will translate into your body, so you will get health back. So each time I hit a bug, I will just keep on getting health, and the more bugs you hit, the more health you get back, you know? So if I just keep on hitting all these bugs, I'm not going to take any damage, like I said, but they'll just never kill me. And no matter what armor you have, you can just kill every ant in this anthill if you really wanted to. I've done this before, and I've gotten around like 500 ant parts in total, like just from one time. It is really useful, and I really suggest it to you guys. And yeah, let's move on to the next tip. Tip number, I don't even know anymore, 6, 7, 8, I don't know which one it is. This tip is pretty straightforward. I've gotten a lot of questions, and I've seen it in comments before. How do you change your character after you've already selected it? So all you want to do is die, and then once you die, where's it at? Swap team, right here. You can pick whatever character you want. I'm still going to pick Pete because I like him a lot. And there you go. You're right here at the kid's case, and you're a different character. Let's move on to the next tip. Tip number 8. This tip actually has to do with these bugs right here, or like weevils. And it is actually how to make an infinite food farm. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to build something a little like this with roofs. It doesn't have to be clover roofs. This is just the most cheap way to do it, so I'm showing it for especially the beginners. You're going to want to build something like this, a 3x3 or a 2x2, whatever you'd like. Then you're going to want to have a pillar in the middle. You're going to want to grab mushroom slurry if you want to deal with weevils, or plant slurries if you want aphids. So you're going to want to put... It's hard to do it. I don't know if I will be able to. There you go. I did it. You're going to want to put some mushroom slurries, some bowls up on that. And actually, I don't know if it's going to happen, but some weevils and some aphids will get attracted into this. And they won't be able to grab it, actually, because it's too high up. And they'll get trapped in here. And then after a while, after there's like however many you want, you can come in and kill them and then cook them up. Now, aphids and weevils are the best food source in the game, in my opinion. They give you so much food. They give you like half food back, and then they give you like half health backs too, so they're like a really good health healing item too. This is a really easy food farm, and the food farms and water farms are actually really simple in this game, and you're not really going to need a water farm too much, because you can just, you know, go get some dew off a leaf. But you know, here's this, and I'll give you one more time to look at it, and let's move on to the next tip. Okay, tip number 9. I know we have all had this problem before. What do you do if you need a ton of sap, but you don't have any, and you can only find a little bit around the oak tree and on those little, you know, sticks? They don't really help you that much. You're going to want to make yourself a sap catcher. Now, not 1, not 2, not 3, but as many as you would like. The more, the better in this case scenario. Now, what a sap catcher does is you place it necessarily around the oak tree. You can't place it on like one of those tiny sticks, which is kind of sad, but it will collect sap over time. And you can just come up here, look, 5 sap on that, 5, 5, 5. So say you make 30 sap catchers, 30 times 5, don't know what that is, didn't go to math, but you know, do that in your head, I don't know. But there you go, you got that much sap. Sap is a really good resource. You're going to need it throughout all of your ground playthroughs, and that is how you get sap. Next tip, here we come. Tip number 10. This is the most used resource in the game, and it is going to be plant fiber. Now, it is a little boring and hard to come across. You just got to go across the floor and just keep grabbing it. It does get boring. But what you're going to need is you're going to need some grinders. And I don't have any with me because it's going to take a while to grind up. But you're going to want to get yourself some weed stems, put them in a grinder, and it'll give you 8 plant fiber per weed stem. So 8 times 5, that's going to be 40. And that'll give you 40 plant fiber. And you can use however many grinders you'd like. And I've done this before, and I've gotten around like 700 to 900 plant fiber with like 40 grinders. I don't know. It's a lot of plant fiber, and it's, you know, more efficient, and it's a funner way than just going out and grabbing stupid plant fiber. It gets really boring, and this is just a funner, better way to get plant fiber. Let's move on to the next tip. Tip number 11. I know we've all came across this problem when we first started playing the game. I have too, I'll admit it. How do you get weed stems? I know it tells you, you know, this is a husky weed. You might think that is, and this is actually a weed stem too, but you do need the tier 2 axe, which is in my hand. But an easier way for the beginners is right here with dandelions. If you break this down with a tier 1 axe, you actually can get yourself weed stems right here. And that's how you get weed stems. I didn't know this when I first started playing Grounded, and I know other people are going to have this issue too, so I had to put it in the video. Let's move on to the next tip. Tip number 12. Okay, I know we have all thought about this before, and it is a little tricky, but how do you become faster in Grounded? Because you are really slow starting out, and it just gets boring, and it's hard to get past this stage of a Grounded world. But what you want to do is you want to grab yourself some aphid slippers, and already this will get you a lot faster. It might not seem like it, but this is with them off. This is with them on. It is a little improvement. Now, over time, this is the fastest way to get the quickest in Grounded is with mutations. Now, mutations are a little tab right here, but this, Natural Explorer, the quickness. You equip that, and as you can see, I am so much faster. I'm probably 3 times the speed. And the way to get Natural Explorer is just by exploring things. Over time, you will look at things. It'll unlock on your map, like this right here, the Puncho. I don't know what that is. And then you got the old anthill. Just go around, find things on your map, and eventually you will get the Natural Explorer. I'm not too sure how many things you need to find before you get Natural Explorer, but if you search it up, it'll tell you, I'm sure. But let's move on to the next tip. Tip number 13, I think. What is the perfect start to a Grounded playthrough? In my opinion, the perfect start is coming out of the case, analyzing as much as you can right away to get all of those unlocks, getting tools, completing the first story mission, building a base, and then going from there, going and beating the whole game, and just go one step by step, grabbing each piece. I'm not going to tell you because I said there was no spoilers, but doing each thing to eventually beat the game. Now, I know I said that really quick, but in my opinion, that is the best and fastest way to complete the game. Now, if you want to beat Grounded in a slow fashion, just build. Have fun, you know. There's no specific way you need to have to beat the game. There's no specific way on how you need to start. It's a survival game. It's how you want to play it. So go out there, start a new world with you, yourself, or your friends, and, you know, have fun. And let's move on to the next tip. Tip number 14. Are you sick of jumping off high places and taking a ton of fall damage and sometimes dying? Well, me too. There's these things called dandelions around the map. I'm looking at them right now. You go and break those. There's these dandelion tufts. You grab them and you go to a high place, however high you'd like. And as you can see in the bottom right, left shift is how you use it. You jump off, hit left shift, and you're floating. You're never gonna take fall damage as long as you have these in your inventory. They are a one-time use. So I had 3. I just used 1 up, so now I have 2. And that is a little annoying. Back then, they had a duration, and after a while of using them, they would break. And there is such thing as a fluffy dandelion tuft, and you can use it forever. It's like a little trinket. It's pretty cool. So if you can find that, that'd be pretty cool. The way to get that is you just go around and break, dandelions. And yeah, let's move on to the next tip. Tip number 15. This is a really good tip, so listen up. I don't like the way it is, but how do you get a gas mask, okay? It's really complicated in a way. I don't like how they did it, because you need a gas mask for the stink bugs, because they, shoot like farts at you. I don't know what it is. But in order to kill a stink bug, like, you want a gas mask, but in order to make a gas mask, you need a stink bug part for some reason. 1 stink bug part, and you need that obviously by killing a stink bug. Now the easiest way to get yourself a bow and some arrows is just, I don't know where the stink bug is, around here somewhere, right there. Just shoot him and walk backwards. Once he jumps, just walk away, and like right here he's gonna jump. I'm gonna run away. You'll get in the gas for a few seconds, but you'll be able to run out, and eventually just by doing this you'll be able to kill him in like 3, 2, 1. Oh, 3, 2, 1. And there we go. Now wait for the gas to go away, go collect your stink bug parts, and make yourself your first gas mask. On to the next. Tip number 16. I know this is the most stupidest tip in the world, and you can even let me know down in the comments if you'd like. I had the biggest problem with this for the longest time. I was sitting here making like thousands of campfires because I thought you could only put 1 piece of food on each of these campfires. But you can actually light it and put up to 3 pieces of food at once on this roasting spit. Stupid tip. Had to put it out there because I went through it, and maybe other people will too. I doubt it. I'm really stupid, but you can put up to 3 pieces of food on the roasting spit. Okay. Tip number 17. Let's go. The best spot to get sprigs. Now, sprigs are these little plants, and you have to go all around the map and collect them if you need like hundreds of them. But there's an easy way, and it's going to be right here. Here's the stick. It's going to be right at the end of the stick right here. It's going to be at this location. I know you're like, oh my goodness, there are so many sprigs. And if you collect every one of these around here, there is a total of 250 sprigs just in this one location. And that is a lot of sprigs in my opinion. And I think they respawn every single day. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. Probably am, but I think they respawn every single day. So you can come back here daily and grab as many sprigs as you'd like. Sometimes, for those big projects, you do need a lot. And I get that. I've went through that before. And I'm sick and tired of just running through the whole map, collecting 1 sprig at a time. And it gets boring and slow. So right there on the map, that is where you get a lot of sprigs. Let's move on. Okay, tip number 18. You want to go in the ant cave, but you can't. Now, there eventually will be a reason you have to go in here, and some people might not know this, but if you have a full set of ran ant armor, you get this hum ant. And as you can see, red ants see you as one of them. So that means that you can go in here, these soldier ants won't get mad at you. You can walk around as much as you want. The only time they will get mad at you is when you steal one of their eggs. That's when they will turn on you and start biting you and try to kill you, okay? And once you do that, just run out. Now, I'm not going to go down there because it will spoil, but a little tip here. Let's move on to the next tip. Tip number 19. How do you get the most flower petals as possible? Now, flower petals are right here. They're pretty hard to get in a sense. All you have to do is attack them, and they will be a main resource that you need. Another really useful resource, but you go ahead and attack them. But you're like, how am I supposed to get up there? How do I, get up there and grab them, You really can't. you're going to want to grab yourself a bow and some arrows, and another way you can attack them is just by shooting them. You shoot them 3 times, 3 petals will come down. They do get caught sometimes, and they do bounce really far away. You might not get 100% of them, but it's the fastest and most efficient way to get flower petals. Quick and easy tip here. Let's move on. Tip number 20. Some people might see you are really weak when you first start, and you might be like, how do I get stronger? Well, here it is. You're going to want to go around the map. Here's just one. It's right here on the map, right under this can. This is the only one I'm going to show you because I want you to go find them yourself. They're called milk molars. You break them with a tier 2 hammer, and you collect it, and then you go to a field station, and you there's a milk molars tab, and you can just spend it on whenever you want. There's quickness, there's health, there is your resource stack size, there's how many mutations you can have at once. There's a ton of things. Go and check it out. I think there's 75 mega milk molars and milk molars around the map. Go have fun. Go try to find them. Let's move on to the next tip. Tip number 21 or 22, whatever we're on. The best healing item. And I know some of you are like, oh, you said what the best healing item is early in the video. No, I didn't. I'm going to give you the top 3 best healing items you need to use in your next grounded playthrough. Number 3, aphids and weevils cooked. They are a really good food source, and they also heal you a ton. Number 2, smoothies. Smoothies are kind of a mid-game healing item, but once you get them, they're really good, and some of them have special buffs. Number 1 in this chest, granola bars. I know they sound weird, but they heal you from 85% health. It is crazy. Best healing item. Now, they are really expensive and hard to come by. So you can actually go in the oak tree, go to Burgle, and duplicate them. Tip number 24, I think we're on. Now, how... Tip number 24. Tip number 24. What is the best way to get raw science? Now, this is in my opinion. Let me know if there's any better or other ways to get raw science. It is going to be right here. I know it's locked for me, but eventually there will be quests right here. You can complete those quests for raw science. And raw science is the in-game currency. That's how you buy pretty much everything. Here's a science shop. You can buy any of these recipes, any base upgrades, buy anything you want in the game. And a little tip, that's what I think is the best way to get raw science. Let's move on. Tip number 25. How do you break grass? Now, I know you're probably like, Hasty, we know how to break grass. We do not care. But some people don't. Obviously, you break it with an axe, and then you're like, oh, what is this? Well, I'm going to go break this. Well, what you just did, you just made sure that piece of grass never ever respawns in your whole grounded world. It's never ever going to respawn no matter how long you play. So just a little tip, if you want to break it so it doesn't respawn, there you go. But if you don't and you're just breaking all of them, well, good luck. You might run out of grass soon. Tip number 27, structure support. What that is, there's a little number right here. You see it says grass stair supporting 30. You want that number to be 0, because what that means is when you break this stair right here, everything around it is going to break. Now, the way to make this 0 is I got some stairs right here. Connect these stairs with the ground, is now, as you can see, supporting 0. So if this one breaks, just like this, it's not going to break. Now, if that one breaks, now it's supporting 30. So ideally, you want a few pieces of structure at least holding your base down, because sometimes you will get bugs coming to try to attack your base, and they might break your whole base if this is the only piece you got supporting it. A little tip, I'm sure a lot of pros know that already, but maybe someone doesn't, so I'm, letting everyone know. Tip number 27, here we come. Tip number 27. What is the best early game weapon? Now, I know I've heard a lot of people ask me this, and a lot of people in other people's comments. It is going to be the mosquito needle or the red ant club. It's really your preference. Now, there really is no best weapon. It's really your preference on what you like to use. This Does very little damage. See, 1 bar damage, but it is really quick. This, on the other hand, does a lot of damage. Well, you know, a little more. And it is really slow. So this is like a really early weapon. This is like a little later weapon, but it is pretty good too because it has lifesteal on it. And, you know, I explained what lifesteal means. And honestly, that's all I have to say. Let's move on to the very last and final tip. Tip number 28. How to carry a lot of items at once. As you know, if you grab things, you can only grab 5 things at once. And that does get a little annoying over time, I know. One way you can increase that number is by equipping a full set of red ant armor, and that goes up to a total of 14 now. Now, there is 2 more ways to increase it. Another one is by having the hauling strength smoothie, I'm pretty sure it is. I don't recommend using it. It kind of sucks. You only can use it for 5 minutes, and then you got to drink another one, and it only increases it by like 5. But a better way, eventually, is to get this hauling hero. You can equip it, and now you can equip a total of 29 items at once. And look at what that looks like. If that was in weed stems, that would be crazy. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. That's 28 tips. And if any of these tips helped you in today's video, be sure to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments. And that is going to be it for today. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one.